My father, I was in contact with my family through text messages and Facebook and things like that. And my father's, if he could have been on an airplane, he would have been there within hours, but he just wasn't well enough to travel that far, much less get to the middle of Spain in the middle of nowhere where I was. It wasn't like I was in Madrid. And he sent me a text, and it was a sign I needed to just, Robin, please come home. And so figuring out how am I going to get all the way to Santiago and then all the way back to Madrid and then always all the way back to Dallas, Texas when I cannot walk. I could barely walk. But again, the signs are there. And the people that we surround ourselves with are there, and they will support us all along the way. And this gentleman at the albergue helped me get my he had a laptop. I got my flight rearranged. I took care of all that. He told me how to get on the bus, down the street, on the bus, on to Santiago, where I then took a train all the way back to Madrid, then a train back to the airport. And as I hobbled up to the American counter, which in Spain doesn't take up a whole terminal, it's one little desk in the far corner. And I walked up, and the ticket agent said, "Can I get you a wheelchair? The international terminal is so far." And the voice in my dad's head was, "Robin, don't be a hero. Get a wheelchair." And that is the way to go through customs. I'm not going to lie. You got a wheelchair, you can get through all of customs just like that. And he zipped me all the way down to my gate. There was one period where he just kind of, and he didn't speak English and I didn't speak Spanish. And he pulled me over and he put me, and he goes, 1 minute. And I'm like, okay, I'm totally having to be trusting this guy now. Next thing I know, a windowless white van pulls up. They put me in the back of this van and take off under the airport. And I'm like, all right, folks, this is it. Either he's taking me to my airplane, or I'm being like sold off into Spanish slavery or something, because I don't know where I'm going, and I'm in complete, you just have to go with it. But I didn't get sold into Spanish slavery. He did drop me off and get me to my gate, where the flight attendants, everybody just swept me up and got me to Dallas. And I got home to Dallas. I called my father. I said, I'm on American soil. I'm back in Texas. He said, thank God. And I got home. And over the next weeks, months, I still felt like I didn't finish, that I didn't finish my Camino. And it took a long time for me to realize I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I said, I'm going to walk on the Camino, which I did. I said, I am going to do this by myself on my own, which I did. And while I got lost, while I couldn't go as far as I wanted, I still did my Camino. And that was my Camino. And my Camino at the end is, I know what I'm capable of. I know that women can do what women can do. We are stronger than many believe, and what oftentimes we believe. And I learned that all of these things are just 3-foot walls. And this is something somebody told me. Every problem is really just a 3-foot wall. How are you going to get over it? Are you going to go over it? Can you go around it? Can you dig under it? Can you go through it? Do you need to back up and take another route? But everything is a 3-foot wall. And while I laid in that albergue just mourning the end of my Camino, although it's probably a whole nother Camino just getting myself back, just mourning that, I realized all the things that I had accomplished. And that when I got back, people say, well, you'll go and you'll finish it. And I'm like, well, maybe. I still got a janky foot that kept me from doing the second half. But now I don't necessarily need to do that, because I did do that. And I learned the lessons that the Camino was intended to teach me.